after the occupation of Belafalda, the same day we were to occupy Siala. Now, these are the two ingress routes onto Siachen Glacier besides Gyaura. So, as luck would have it, or unfortunately, the weather turned bad around 11:30. Turned so bad. I think by the time the last sortie came in after that, blizzardous, unbelievable, blizzardous weather. Difficult to see. I said, Hari, what happened suddenly? What kind of a thing? And I was familiar with the terrain. I was familiar with the weather. I spent about 3 months there before, so I knew what it is all about. But I had never faced all this kind of very bad weather. But obviously, in the earlier encounters, I would be there in the month of August, September, and much later. Here it was April, which is very difficult because the Pakis would not come there in the month of April. Primarily because their co-commander had told them that
Mausam bahut kharab.
Yeah, you'll all die. And because in 83, they came on top of the glacier, but they had to be pulled back. The SSG couldn't stay there. So they pulled back. So they said, no question. They wanted to come on the glacier on the 1st of May, thinking they would surprise us.
But you surprised them. You were quicker.
Yeah.
Now to come to what you were telling us, the weather turns and you lose a comrade. You lose somebody or somebody gets very ill and dies. Now, again, to give context, you had to do this very quietly. This was a secret operation. So you were actually instructed to keep your communication sets shut. But now you lose a man. What do you do, sir?
See, that was something really challenging because radio silence was very essential. Because without the radio silence, the Pakis obviously
would get to know
that there's some movement going on top of the glacier. And in fact, in the very about first hour, this radio operator of mine, Mandal, he started complaining of severe headache, A little later, he said, I just can't move. So I knew that he was now suffering from what they call it as a high altitude pulmonary edema. He must be suffering. I said, don't worry. It can happen to anybody. You mustn't feel bad about it. I said, I'll send you back by the next sortie that comes. I'll send you back. Then that was okay. We sent him back. So now we were with the radio set, but no radio operator. And radio silence was there. But since we were dropped short of Belafalda and we had to go to Belafalda, it took some time because the weather was very, very bad. And on the 3rd day, I find that one of my boys who was with me in 83, he passed away. Last night, Ramesh Singh, good mountaineer, very nice boy. And I said, when I was walking, my company commander told me, Vapas. So now radio silence was still on. So obviously they had to shout, come back, come back. I said, what happened? Come back. I've just about gone a little while. And I said, when do you? They said, Ramesh. No more. And seemed difficult. I said, where is he? So I went and saw him in the tent. Oh, I think it was no more. I said, very sad. Felt bad because now what to do with him? So now it was only the 3rd day. And we had been told radio silence for 5 days. And I said, then I told the company commander, I said, look, if you keep him in the tent, because every small pup tent had 3 boys in it. I said, it would rather be very inconvenient for the boys of them to stay, and we did not have a spare tent with us. All of us were fully... So I said, I can't keep Ramesh's body outside also. Neither can I. I said, let's open the radio set and inform that we've lost the boy.
And you knew the moment you do that, the Pakistanis would get to know that you were there.
100%. They not only, Barkha, you're absolutely right. They just got to know within no time. And by the time Ramesh's body could be kept in the chopper and be taken away, and I was on my way to Belafalda, I find the Paki chopper was right in front of me.
Then?
And since the choppers also can't fly beyond 19,000 and 20,000 feet, obviously I was plus 18,000 sitting there, and I was eye-to-eye contact with the pilot. So he saw me, I saw him.
You could see his face clearly?
He took a U-turn and he left. So the surprise element
that you hoped for was gone.
Now, obviously, the Pakis knew that the Indians are on top of the glacier. And we knew that they know that we are here. So
then?
Now the whole thing started off. So we had the first firing incident which took place in April. Then the attack by them on Belafalda which took place on the 23rd of June, 84. And we subsequently later, Bana got his Paramveer Chakra 23rd of June 1987. So the 23rd June is the longest day. So since it's the longest day, you have a daylight for extended almost till 8:30 in the evening. Until almost 8:45, you can still see everything.
So just to get the chronology, by 13th April, Indian troops are on Siachen.
Yes.
You lose a man, I think, if I'm not wrong, on the 17th of April. You open the radio sets. The Pakistanis now know that you're there. The first full-scale attack by the Pakistanis comes on the 23rd of June. What happens then?
See, but that attack was on the 23rd. But before that, on the 17th of April, because now that the surprise was lost, the occupation of Siala was important. Because only Belafon La was important. La means a pass.
Yes.
So the Belafon La, one of the passes to Siachen Glacier, had been occupied. But the other pass also had to be occupied. The third one, that is Gyeong La, could be occupied a little later than when we saw the Pakistani movement. But notwithstanding that, we had the first firing that took place from Pakistan side was around, it's the same month of April. I think it was around the 23rd of April, the firing, just the firing. They're trying to tell us that we are here, and we know obviously we are occupying heights, so we could see them there. But maybe they're wanting to tell us that, look, we are sitting right in front of you, almost 4 or 5 kilometers away at a place called Ali Brangza. That is where they were. So it was okay with us. But 23rd June, they did, it was a real attack, because 22nd June in the afternoon, I could hear them fire. So I thought they were, probably testing their weapons. And 22nd June, they fired in the evening with their mortars. So that was the first indication that something we should expect from their side. And 23rd June in the morning, my sentry came and told me, "Sahab, dushman." I said, "Dushman?" At 4:30 in the morning, he said, "Haan, sir."
4:30 in the morning. 4:30. Sentry comes and says, "Sahab, dushman."
Sahab, dushman. I said, "Kisne bola?" He said, "Chanchal duty par hai, aur Chanchal ne कुछ काला काला उसको नजर आ रहा है बर्फ के ऊपर and हरकत हो रही है." So I said, "Okay, tell." As the first thing I told my chap, I said, "Come on, occupy the trenches." Now, in the trench occupation, also the day previous, that is on the 22nd of June, there was a boy called, we used to call him Jalandhria. He was a Kumaoni, but he has spent a lot of time in Jalandhar. So he was popularly called among the troops Jalandhria. So he walked up to me. I told him, "You better dig your trench." He said, "I'm thak gaya. I am not going to go beyond this. But I assure you, in the morning stand to, when you come, it'll be done." So I said, arguing at that height and difficult, I could probably feel that he must be tired. I said, "Okay, do it tomorrow morning, doesn't matter. But ensure that at stand 2, please clear up your trench." They said, "No." Now, on the morning, when Chanchal informed the patrol leader, and he was all around that, I told him, I said, "Occupy the trenches and let's get in over there." So when we were occupying the trenches, the Pakis, by this time it was maybe around 4:45. In the first light, everything was now clearly visible as to what it is. The first shot fired was on Chanchal's head. So Chanchal got knocked out and died on the spot over there. So I said, "Okay, now that this firing has started, we better be careful about it." So we were already in our trenches. Now the Pakis were moving up. It's not so easy in mountains to climb up, occupy the heights, and then be able to fight it out. So we were already occupying the heights. So there was no question. Well, when you are climbing up, it's very difficult to look back. You can't look back because then you get tired. You're only looking up and trying to go. And that they say, "Pet mein roti, haath mein soti, and chal choti." So you have to just look down and keep climbing up. The Pakis couldn't do it, obviously. Then we were firing at them. So they were firing.
But what happened to Chanchal?
Chanchal died. And then Chanchal,
instantly?
Yeah, immediately.
How did you get to know?
He was shot. He was right in front of us only. We were all together in the post, and since he was standing on the,
you watched him
occupying. Fall? Yeah, as soon as he was shot, blood all over the glacier. Then we could see that the entire thing was red, and the poor thing was no more. And 2 more of my boys got injured. One at the leg, the other on the arm. So I said, "Okay, it doesn't matter." But
what trains you for such a moment? For such a moment when you're seeing, I'm imagining this glacial white snow, frozen, minus 50 degrees. You're at heights between 18,000 to 20,000 feet. Your man is lying in a puddle of blood on this snow. Another 2 are injured. You've already lost Ramesh. The Pakistanis are firing. What prepares you for this moment to keep going?
To be honest with you, as a soldier, you look for this moment.
It's what you've been trained to do, but when that moment comes...
This is the moment for which you've been trained, all along to ensure that at no point of time, and you can only do at this time is encourage and motivate your men, that ensure that you don't lose and you have to kill this enemy. And they were killing them. And that is the reason why then the Pakis had to pull back and withdraw from there.
Right.
And thereafter, I don't think...
This is which date?
This is 23rd of June, 1984.
So would you say this is the first battle?
First battle for Bela
at Siachen.
On Siachen, first battle for Bela, because that was the place.
Yes.